Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the show. We're just going to jump right in. We've got one hell of a show for you.
And now, a whole new way to watch radio.
This is the Dennis George Show. Here's your host, Dennis George.
Well, let's go around the room and see who's in the studio with us today. Mitch is here. Mitch, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Not too shabby. And Sam is here. Sam, how you doing?
Doing well.
All right. And Debbie's here. Debbie, how are you?
Howdy, howdy, everybody.
And Denny G, hello.
Hello. I'm doing splendid.
There's our group. There's our gang. Here we are. We're ready to roll. Let's play our game.
Boom, baby.
Boom. How's everyone doing this week? What's going on? What did anyone do?
I got Botox.
Botox?
Oh, really?
Really?
Botox. Wow, that went very extreme, very fast.
Where
For
where
what?
did you get where? Yeah, where? I mean, like what part of your body?
What? No, just around my eyes.
And did you notice a difference at all?
Oh yeah. Like an hour later, I took a picture of before, and the wrinkles are just gone.
Really?
The times I've done it, it's been really noticeable.
Yeah. Is it painful?
Like
No.
a bee sting.
Like a bee sting. Yeah, got
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, look at him. He looks like a porcelain doll.
I'm so
Mitch-
scared, but I can't express it.
Some
So are
people
you
do in
two-
their armpits.
Interesting.
Yeah.
For sweating reasons, right?
Yeah, for sweating reasons, right. Profuse sweaters do that.
Oh,
And some people do it for migraines.
Why does it block your pores? Or tell me about that.
Yeah, it essentially
Yeah.
kills your nerves. It it paralyzes your nerves. Let's not say
Yeah.
kill it. It paralyzes your nerves.
It doesn't sound like that's a healthy thing to do.
Well, it can lead to nasty stuff, but most of the times it doesn't.
Mitch, for our YouTube people, we have a YouTube channel, Dennis George Show, so you can actually watch the shows as well. Mitch, can you like lean into your camera a little bit more so we can see your face?
Get close.
Yeah, you look like a
Oh,
porcelain.
yeah.
You kinda
Porcelain
look-
doll.
Yeah, porcelain doll, baby. A little Frankenstein-ish. Like
I wanted to be the next sex doll. All right, that's how I'm gonna get married.
It is a little creepy, the face, as you lean forward and then you have like all those
Yeah.
swords behind you.
You know how
You look very
Frankenstein-
evil.
Yeah, you know how Frankenstein had this just solid, normal forehead that's just like there. It's
Yeah,
kinda
because
like
he
that.
never had an expression.
Right, exactly.
It helps.
Frankenstein.
It was really for work because I get on a lot of work meetings, and I have learned that I can control what comes out of my mouth, but my facial expressions
Can you control what goes into your mouth?
occasionally.
Oh, wow.
If I get
I think
hangry,
we better
no.
go ahead and apologize to Mitch.
If you get angry, if you get
I think-
hangry,
I
yeah.
think that's the first that we've ever had to apologize. To
I
me.
wasn't
Usually,
in-
I'm that you guys are apologizing for.
Can you
me on
control what
something.
goes in your mouth?
It wasn't an insult. It was just a question, really.
All right,
Well, Dennis,
that's
can
fair.
you control what goes in your mouth?
Often not. No. Often it's completely out of my control. I'm just saying. Yeah. So Botox. What did anyone else do? This Botox is interesting. Was it pricey? Was it expensive?
Not really. It was like $9 a unit.
Oh, that's inexpensive.
Yeah. So a unit's like a shot, right?
No. Like when they do a shot, I think it. I don't know what the measurement of a unit
Right,
is.
like
but
the
I mean, there were like 26 units put up atop my on the top forehead, and then 10 units on each side.
Oh, okay.
Times 10.
So
For the math
are you
majors.
willing to share with us what the total cost was, which is the point of the question?
It was around 400 for me.
Okay. Yeah.
So
You got a lot.
now can I what?
Right.
Yeah. Now, Dennis, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
So I told you how many units I got, and I told you the price of the unit. Could you not do that?
Well, we didn't total up the number of units, so I could have, but you were still talking about 10 on this side and 10 on this side,
Yeah.
this many here.
You,
So I
you know,
was,
it's a combination of addition and multiplication, which would be difficult for Dennis.
Rough stuff.
well, how
we
come
add
I never
Dennis to
get
the
on the
apology
How
list?
come I never get on the apology list?
Put him
Yeah.
on the apology
Because
list.
you started this show.
Because it's your show. You don't get
It's the
apologized
Dennis
to.
George
It's your
show.
So it's my fault. Okay, fair enough. Listen, as long as I know the rules, I can play by them. It's fine. It's completely fine.
And let's be fair, we're going to change the rules if we need to. Can I get
That's
a,
true.
Can I get
That's
a
rule
hands on
number
if we
2.
should change the rules if
Amen.
we need to?
Right. All right. I did not call for a vote. What
You
else
changed
is
the
going on?
rules.
What else?
I started taxes.
Oh, that sounds awful.
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
Yeah,
so in
just
the
slow but
United
sure.
States, our tax deadline is 15th of April, so that is coming up. How difficult are taxes for you to do?
Not very bad. I use a company called Tax Act, and so I started with them. It was free, and then it started costing money, but they keep all of your old tax returns, so they populate your
keeps it
tax returns.
easier.
You don't have to add much to it. It's pretty simple. Mine's a little bit more
Nice.
complicated than some, but it's not a quick form. It's a long form, so it takes a while, but not too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Having all the data takes more time than filling out the forms.
Right.
Yeah. Collecting
Yeah.
it all.
Anyone
I
else?
think they should make people happier. Instead of being April 15th, they should just go and have it done on April 20th.
Yeah.
Because then it would be 420 and it would make people much happier.
Well, I always get extensions. I've had double extensions before. Like 1 year I didn't file my taxes until October, so November or something.
Yeah,
like
you can get an automatic 6 months, which takes you into October. That's right. That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah.
So the donut update, I know everybody's been wondering.
Yeah. So Sam has a donut addiction, and last week I
do.
talked about maybe having an intervention. I thought maybe that would be a nice thing for friends to do. We did get
Yeah.
some email about that. People were making suggestions on what I should bring to as refreshments for a donut intervention, and some of the
Yes.
suggestions were quite interesting. Hummus was suggested 3 times.
On donuts?
Not on the donuts, to bring the hummus
Yeah,
instead
'cause
of
we're
a
having
donut.
an intervention.
Oh,
You
you're
don't
trying to get me
donuts.
off of it. I don't need that help. I think Denny G's was the best because he said that he should bring mimosas. And that's very complimentary with the donuts to talk about it and have your one last fix.
Well, and I can't think of a better way to do an intervention than to get you off of one thing and put you on another thing that you would need an
Perfect.
intervention for. So,
Mimosas
Yeah.
in pot.
yeah, like if you're going to get someone do an intervention for someone who's like taking a specific drug, let's bring a different drug because that'll distract
Yeah.
them. Yeah, that's completely makes sense to me.
Right.
Absolutely.
They might like that one better.
So for your intervention, we should bring coffee cake and gooey butter cake.
Yeah.
And for those who don't know what gooey butter cake is, it's a St. Louis thing. It's absolutely delicious, and it's absolutely why everybody in this city
Just
has
do it.
diabetes.
And it's gooey and buttery.
It sounds like you're eating a bar of butter that's gooey. Is that what it is?
Pretty close.
Kind of.
And sugar with powdered
A lot of
sugar on
sugar.
it, and
Mhm.
it's doughy. It's
How can you go wrong?
Oh, the best way to explain it for people who haven't had it, it's kind of like a coffee cake, but it's thin. So it's closer in consistency to a lemon bar versus an actual coffee cake. But the consistency is more like a cake than it is a lemon bar. That's
That's
the
a good-
best way.
Close to the
it's
Yeah.
kind of like you
cheesecake.
take the consistency. You're right, Debbie, of a lemon bar, but you take the flavor of the lemon out and you replace it with like coffee cake flavor.
That's
But
the
no
best
coffee.
way.
Yeah, those are good.
It's
Those are all good
delicious.
examples for people. So that's really good. Hey, we've got a great show for you coming up after the break. Top 10 list from Debbie. Restaurants that are in our favorite TV shows, like real life restaurants that they use as the background in your TV shows. Kind of interesting.
Oh, I like
And then weird people. Can erection cream be used to plump your lips? Stick around. We'll be right back.
Whole new way to watch radio. The Dennis George Show continues after this.
The views expressed on Dennis George Show
are not our own or anyone else's.
Listen at your own risk, and we cannot be held responsible for your ears burning, bleeding, or ringing, or the blurred eyesight.
some things you will not be able to unhear or unsee, and for that,
You are warned.
Not try anything we suggest or talk about at home, work, or in your car.
A reminder, there are no rules, and our show is intended for mature audience only.
or at a minimum,
Those over your state's or country's legal age of consent.
Any experiments
Jobs, skills, or sexual positions suggested
and or recommended
are for comedy purposes only and should not be tried without supervision.
or a spotter.
safety word or phrase,
is recommended in advance of trying anything
Any
new.
medical advice
or comments that seem like medical advice,
should be reviewed with your own doctor.
or at least.
Check it on Google like we did.
Thank you and good luck.
Now, back to our show. Here's Dennis George.
So a little weird people news for you. This past December, May Archie was in New York, visiting all of the sites in New York City. She took a lot of photos, and she even visited an exhibition or an exhibit about the Beatles, which is one of her favorite groups, by the way. It wasn't until after her trip was finished that she was back home going through her photos that she realized that she had missed something rather important in the background of one of her photos. Sir Paul McCartney was in it. Apparently, her mom snapped a picture of her walking across an intersection, and Paul McCartney happened to be walking down the sidewalk and was like midway in the middle of the photograph, looking right into the camera.
I saw the picture.
That's awesome.
The picture. So Sir Paul McCartney was walking one direction towards the camera, and she's in the middle of the intersection and kind of half turned back towards the camera. So she herself, I don't know, would have realized that it was Sir Paul McCartney, but her mother taking the picture, I would have sort of thought she would have seen it, but she may have been fully focused on her daughter. So
yeah, no one realized it, and but she posted it on TikTok, kind of as a, oh my God, look at this! I just thought, because Paul McCartney, the Beatles, is her favorite group, so it's kind of funny that it worked out that way.
Fate.
Yeah, exactly. More than 100,000 views on TikTok, and even Paul McCartney has commented on it now, which is pretty hysterical.
Yay! That's awesome.
Has he seen it? Has he been like,
what was his comment?
Good picture.
I don't know what his comment was, but I read this morning an update to the story, and it just said he had commented, so probably thumbs up or something simple, but which is pretty good. So I know there's always a price to look beautiful, and there's always a price. We just did Mitch's Botox deal, but I don't know if anyone ever had collagen treatment. Now, collagen is where you can get your lips plump, right, Debbie? Is that right?
why are you asking me? I don't do any
I think
of that
that's
stuff.
fillers.
It seems to me to be more of a female type thing to have done.
Sexist.
No, I'm not trying to be sexist. I'm just
Apologize to
Apologize
women.
to the females.
That's why I said more of
We're
a.
going to apologize to the females.
No. That's why I said more of a. I wasn't being sexist. I
Yeah,
really
too
wasn't.
late now.
I
Too
take
late now.
collagen every day.
Do you?
Yes.
Okay. Well then collagen's the wrong thing.
Well, I take it internally. I take it with a liquid.
Yeah. But there's
Doesn't it
people
help,
who
like,
can get
joints?
treatments. There's people who can go and get a medical treatment to make their lips more plump.
Yes,
Yes.
you can have.
I'm trying to get to this point, and we're not.
Right.
No one's
Denny
helping.
G, does it help your whole body plump?
Sure.
Yeah.
Helps your skin.
You know what? You all just take the show. I'll be over here.
Okay.
Don't sit in your corner.
Too controlling.
Nobody puts Dennis in a corner.
It's completely fine. Oh my God.
Fillers. Go back to fillers.
Fillers.
So, TikTok
her.
user Jerry May decided he wanted to try a very unusual beauty hack. He didn't want to spend the money to pay to have his lips plumped. So Jerry smeared his lips with Erection Cream to see if it would work. So, by the way, this kind of a treatment can run not the Erection Cream, but the regular lip plumping treatment.
Plumpers. Right.
Can run average of $250 to $400 a treatment. So, this is pretty. Whereas, Erection Cream,
$15.
I had to research this, people. I don't know this firsthand. Let's just be clear. But the
Sure.
the Erection Cream is, like Sam just said, it's $15. How he knew that, we're not sure either. Anyway, so basically, so he put Erection Cream on his lips to see if it would create the plumping that he wanted to have of his
If his lips would stand up.
If his lips would stand up. So here's a picture for those on YouTube. Here's a picture of him putting the cream on. So that's him putting the cream on. And here's the
I
results.
hope it has a good taste.
Here's the results.
Yes.
You think I could give you a man boob?
So
Yeah. I think he's pressing a little. The lower one definitely plumped a lot, I think.
oh yeah, so they're very plump.
I wonder what it did
It
to
had
his
more
finger.
growth.
Yeah.
What it did to his
Denny,
finger?
Yeah.
Did his finger plump up?
Oh,
I
it
don't know.
should, right? I mean, if it plumps
We should
up-
ask his girlfriend
Yeah.
Or his
or
boyfriend?
boyfriend.
Or yes, a
So
boyfriend.
one question I've got is, I mean, does that come with all the side effects of the erection cream? I mean, did he have an uncontrollable urge to like eat out?
Mitchell.
But it's everybody thinking it.
So here's the
Poor
thing.
Debbie.
So
She can
erection,
hardly handle herself.
so
I was
erection
talking about
cream,
fast food. What were you guys talking about?
erection cream leads to blood flow that will increase swelling in the area. Lasts for about an hour, but it's completely temporary. But I would think that now, I should put a warning in here. By the way, you're not supposed to have any type of consumption of this. Like that's really dangerous. They say
What?
in the article. But there's a couple questions about the application process. So what I want to know is, could you kill two birds with one stone on this deal? So
Oh,
because
no.
because think about this for a second. If you got the erection cream and you need to apply it to the lips, I'm thinking there's a dual thing going on here.
Sure. I got the vision.
I mean, that takes a contortionist to be able to do that.
Debbie's just I'm not saying on yourself. So
Oh,
Debbie,
okay.
Debbie's just sort of gone.
No, so my biggest question is, what prompted him to try this? Did he read about this somewhere? Did he hear? And I'm not saying we know the answer.
Right.
That was the first thing that crossed my mind. What made you think that putting erection cream, which has can have some somewhat, I don't want to say severe, but hefty side effects on your lips, where you could potentially also ingest it, which is also bad for you?
Yeah.
Right.
Prompted it.
Well, and if
Does it-
ingesting it is bad for you, let's say you're using erection cream for the real purpose, and then you have nothing to do with the lips, do you have an obligation to tell your partner that you've used the cream?
Maybe that's
I
how the
bet that
first
made
person
their
got their
lips
lips
swell.
to
That's how they got
plug up.
swollen. He didn't actually try it, like, hey. He was like, where's your my bitch?
Right. Right.
I'm interested because everybody knows that I would prefer a bigger butt on myself. I wonder if I smear that cream on my butt, it would give me a bigger butt for an hour. Or is it a different type of skin?
I sense a top 10 list, a top 10 list coming from Debbie called Beauty Hacks.
I feel like, Sam, you should try that and report back next week and let us know how that goes.
I think you should try.
I'm willing. It's only $15.
And
So
it's
I
only,
think
it's
there you
only
go.
you're behind. It's not like you'd be putting it on super sensitive areas. So I
Right.
would be, I
Depends
would
on where you're behind.
Two things.
True.
Number one, I think Sam.
I just want my cheeks bigger.
Two things. I think Sam should try it on the show. Second
No.
thing is, I think we should run a listener contest of who's going to apply it.
No.
Okay,
Oh.
so here's
Get
also
different
my,
I'm
kind
a
of dirty
little worried.
samples.
I'm out.
now, I have a question actually about putting it on your cheeks, right? Is the increased blood flow, won't that increase like hair growth? So you could come back next week with a hairy ass.
Wookie?
Yeah.
Mm,
Come back
I
looking
don't
like
know about
Chewbacca
Right.
from the waist down.
Yeah. I don't
If you're into
know.
that.
Heading downhill.
Right. I don't know. Anyway, Beauty Hacks here on Dennis George Show, which is fantastic. Sleeping next to a snorer can also be very frustrating if you're sleeping next to a snorer, but apparently one expert out of the UK has sworn by this fix. This is very interesting. So you've got
God
someone who's
help
snoring,
me.
and I have a friend who has a snoring issue, and she has been kind enough to share that with me. And her partner does not like her snoring at all. In fact, we get stories of the fact that she gets beaten up at night in the middle of the night. She'll be sound asleep and start snoring, and her partner will literally beat her up to wake her up to get the snoring to stop. And she'll be like, "What?" She goes, "I can't sleep. You're snoring." "Well, I'm sleeping just fine. Why do you have to wake me up?"
And that is the problem.
Right.
They need to figure out how to fix their own issues where they sleep better.
Negative Ghost Rider. They were sleeping and being totally respectful of the other person's space, and the other person was just being inconsiderate.
Right. So the UK sleep expert is now saying that when you sleep on your back, that's really when you snore. That's the snoring. So
Most
he is
often.
now, huh?
Most often, yes.
Most often, yeah.
Mhm.
So he is now recommending that you sew a tennis ball onto your pajamas, the top of your pajamas where your neck is.
What happens
So
if you
that-
sleep
So
naked?
you can't sleep on your back.
We're getting there, Denny G. Hang on. So you put the tennis ball on the back of your neck, and then if then if you roll over onto your back to sleep, the tennis ball makes it uncomfortable, and so it makes you move to your side or to your stomach, I guess. But the question that Denny G raised, which is, I think, a pretty valid one, was,
What if you sleep naked?
what if you don't sleep with pajamas on? Then what do you do?
You just
I'm
sew it
thinking-
to your skin.
I think that, or I think there's a
Fine.
I think
Oh, yeah, I
there's an
guess you could
opportunity
attach
here.
it to your leather collar.
I think there's an opportunity here to make some money. I think we can make a device of a tennis ball on a strap, and we could sell that as a sleep aid.
Isn't
I
that
have a
called a ball
feeling that
gag?
may already be out
That's
there.
what I was thinking, Mitch.
Oh, that's a good point. It's already a ball gag. So now
It's just reversed.
we have dual uses. So, but I think that's just a packaging thing. Like, I think we can say to people, sleep aid and ball gag. Like, it's multi-use.
You
So
got one
the
of those down in
tennis
your
ball-
dungeon downstairs, don't you?
I don't have a ball gag. No, I've never used
I
one.
thought I saw one on the wall
No, you're mistaken.
a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
You were-
You were in the basement.
yes,
Right.
When you were getting the studio redone.
yes.
I know what you're all talking about.
Mhm.
It was on the wall.
Yeah, it was.
It's for your partner.
Or was that your sleep aid?
It was a sleep aid.
It was a sleep aid.
So I think there's a financial thing here. I think we could come up with a pretty
Yeah.
nice device here we could make some money on. I'm just saying.
I think we could actually go ahead, Debbie.
So you're gonna package this Dennis George Show ball gag and sleep aid.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
And
exactly
I
right.
think it might go to the top of the
The sex
sex top 10 list, the sex toy top 10 list. I think it'll be at the top
Yeah.
over the rabbit.
Right. I think so. I'm just saying this is
With having two purposes, I mean, what else can you do with the rabbit besides?
Hey, why stop at 2? All right, let's go 3. Let's put a little like massager in there, and that way, it can also be like a personal massage device, sleep aid and ball gag.
that's
Just
not a
don't have
bad idea.
Massager on when it's being a ball gag.
And actually as a ball gag, if you turn on the massager, it becomes sort of a singing lesson. It helps you sing and hum. Like it'll teach people how to hum.
Or it'll knock your teeth out.
There you go.
Which I mean could also never mind.
Ooh, sonic teeth. Wait a minute. Sonic teeth cleaning.
Or you could also put the erection cream on your lips so it creates a better seal. Too far?
Maybe.
No, I'm fearful that it's just right.
That's right. At the edge.
Oh, after the break, Debbie's going to take us on her top 10 list. God help us.
Find us online at Pornhub. Sorry, wrong site. Find us online at DennisGeorgeShow.com.
Hey there, catch us 24/7 on social media. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter and Good Pods. On Alexa and Google Assist, say, play Dennis George Show podcast.
If you have a question or comment, send us an email at podcast@DennisGeorgeShow.com. Or if you're just looking for a date. If we read your question or comment on the show, we'll send you a Dennis George Show t-shirt. That's podcast@DennisGeorgeShow.com. Now back to the show.
So many of our great suggestions, by the way, come from listeners. So use that email address, podcast@DennisGeorgeShow.com. In fact, folks often suggest top 10 lists. So we get some really good ideas from our listeners. So feel free to use that email address. And don't forget to tell us your name and where you're from. We get a lot of email and maybe some of you are embarrassed to say your name. And I get that given some of the emails I get. I'm just throwing that out there. Some of you may
It's a
not
good
want to
read.
right? Some of you may not want to admit your name when you send your emails in, and I understand that completely. And those of you who don't give us your name, and you're embarrassed to give us your name because of what you've written, means we probably wouldn't read it on the show anyway, because if it's that bad, and believe me, some of them are, we probably won't read it. Yeah. Top 10 list with Debbie. What do you got this week?
So this week's top 10 list is the top 10 restaurants that are in shows or movies in some way, shape, or form that are actually also in real life.
Oh.
They actually exist in real life.
So instead of the producers building like a restaurant that the actors are in, it's really truly a restaurant that actually exists. That
Some are actually shot within the restaurant. Some are sets that are built based on these restaurants.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. Okay.
Not all of them are shot on location in those restaurants.
Right.
So top 10 list. So the first one, number 10, is called, the name of it is Top Notch Hamburgers, and it was actually in the movie Dazed and Confused. Now, I have not seen that movie, so I cannot speak to this, but Matthew McConaughey is in it. It was kind of his breakout role, from what I understand. I've seen lots of others of his
All
movies.
right.
That's actually the movie where he coined that phrase.
I saw a movie with Matt McConaughey yesterday that I had never seen before, called A Time to Kill. And
warning, it's a very heavy movie.
Where have you been?
It is.
Oh my God, that movie's so good.
Very, very good movie. But what's really stunning about that movie, so I think it's 1993, 1994. So look it up if you haven't seen it. I am shocked by the number of breakout stars that are in that movie.
True.
So many people: Kevin Spacey, Matthew McConaughey, Sandra Bullock, Samuel Jackson. There's so many. Literally, easily 10 stars are in that movie, and I was quite surprised. Ed Harris, I didn't know, and I don't know that when the movie was made that those stars were really that big at the time it was made. I'm not sure, because a lot of them look pretty young, but it's pretty amazing that. But it's a very, very good movie.
It's based on a book, and if you haven't read the book, you should read the book.
That's right.
It is amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
fantastic.
very, very good movie. Yeah.
Yeah. So he totally sidetracked us, but anyways, Dazed and
All
Confused.
right. Back to it.
Dazed and Confused is based on follows various groups of teenagers on their last day of school in the suburbs of Austin, Texas. So this restaurant, Top Notch Hamburgers, is actually a restaurant in Austin. It's still original. The original restaurant is still located. Looks like it did.
Do you think the burgers are truly top notch?
I cannot speak to whether or
we
not
gotta go.
I agree.
Austin's
I'm a
beautiful.
burger
So
connoisseur. I gotta find out.
I am too. I really want to find a good hamburger. There's a place I tried their burger for the first time like a week ago or 2 weeks ago. It's in St. Louis. It's called The Post. And I had their hamburger and I was blown away. And I don't know if it's always that good, but it was so good. I'm just throwing that out.
Yeah, they usually have pretty good burgers.
Yeah.
I've been there a lot.
Yeah.
You need to, if you're in St. Louis again, you need to try Stacked. It is an amazing hamburger restaurant.
Stacked. Yeah.
Yes. And they always have a burger of the month. And one of the burgers of the month that they do is actually a crab rangoon burger. So it's a burger and it's got the crab rangoon innard on top of the burger and then 2 fried wontons on top of that. And it is amazing.
Wow. It's very interesting. I would have a hard time with that.
I thought I was going to, but
right.
No, you don't. Trust.
Yeah.
And it's delicious.
Oh, it's amazing. Oh, amazing. They have really good applesauce too, but that's a personal preference of mine. So
applesauce on a burger?
Not on the burger.
On the side.
Oh, okay.
As a side. They just have good applesauce.
Okay.
All right. Number 9 is the Bluebird Cafe. And if you've been to Nashville, you've probably heard of the Bluebird Cafe. And I've actually seen it before, not actually been in. And it was on the show Nashville.
Oh.
It's in a small strip mall area outside of downtown Nashville. And they actually have, they've had a lot of people play there. It's been a kind of an up and coming place to play in Nashville. So
cool. So they have live music.
Yeah. Garth Brooks played
nice. Shut
before
up.
he really hit the big time. And a lot of stars have. Garth Brooks just happened to
Oh,
be
that's
the
cool.
only one mentioned in this article. So next is, now I've never watched this show in my life. It's from SpongeBob SquarePants. Never.
How do you
never
put
watched
a
it.
restaurant from under the sea?
So there is a restaurant called, what is it called? What is it called? The Krusty Krab restaurant.
Yeah.
There is a real life version of the restaurant that is now open in Moscow. And it has ship barrels for chairs, as well as tables that resemble ship steering wheels that are seen on the show. They even sell the famous Krabby Patty burgers. And it's set up very much. So this one, I believe, my guess would be from what I read here, that it was created after the show came out. And for some reason, the
Right.
writers thought this was a great thing to do, was to make this restaurant. I think it would be really interesting. Their menu apparently is quite varied. So they have pizza, burgers, pasta, soup, salad, desserts, and lots of other stuff.
I think I'm more curious about the fact that SpongeBob SquarePants would be a show that would be trending enough in Moscow for people to
yeah.
watch that they would know what the restaurant is. I think that's a little more interesting to
And is it
me.
a chain?
Yeah, no, I believe that at least from what I have read, that's the only one, that location in Moscow. That's just,
That's
that
interesting.
location is- yeah,
That's interesting.
Supposedly, the show has a lot of adult humor in it.
that is what I've
So
heard.
that could be the reason why it's trending there.
Yeah, maybe so.
I don't know. I've never watched the show,
It's-
so I cannot speak.
It's great for whenever you have kids and that's all they watch, but you don't really want to watch that. You can actually enjoy the adult humor.
Right.
Nice. All right, number 7 is Los Pollos Hermanos from Breaking Bad. And it's a chicken fast food establishment, and it's on the show, is apparently regularly visited by a lot of the characters on the show.
Yeah, the main drug lord, drug guy, he runs a chain of these restaurants, and he uses that chain as a cover for his drug
To
dealing.
clean the money.
Yeah.
And what kind of food is it?
It's a chicken fast food. So chicken.
Chicken fast food. It sounded almost, whenever you were saying it, I thought it was going to be a Mexican restaurant.
Which, yes, you would sort of assume that as well, but
You would also be associated with Better Call Saul.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
Because that's a spin-off, isn't it? from
Spin-off.
Breaking
Yes,
Bad?
it's a prequel to
prequel, okay.
Breaking Bad. Yeah, and
Like
they have
that
the
came out
restaurant in
after.
there and the same characters.
So,
Oh, really?
Breaking Bad's a great series. I really liked that series. I don't know. Would you go to I'm just saying, would you go to the restaurant, the real life restaurant that's in Breaking Bad, knowing that, well, this is like where the main drug dealer is, and they,
Sure,
they off
Yeah.
people.
I'd go.
Oh
There you
no.
go.
The food's probably amazing, but
I've been to restaurants that are controlled by mafia, so their food's good.
Dennis, do you think it'd be a little scary?
Never. No, they're serving food. They're laundering money. It's okay.
All right.
fine. But I want to point out, though, that restaurant doesn't actually exist, but the building that was used in the show is
Right.
actually a burrito and burger restaurant named Twisters in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Oh,
So Los Pollos
Twisters.
Hermanos does it, but Twisters is the actual name of the restaurant.
gotcha.
Yes. So number 6 is Mystic Pizza. So for anybody that's seen the movie, it pretty much was Julia Roberts' breakout role. It's a really it's feminine power kind of movie. I'll be the first to tell you that. But anyways, it's in Mystic, Connecticut, and the name of the place is Mystic Pizza, and they have sort of exploded. And so people come from, if they're going to be near the area, they will come. One of the key phrases that they had was a slice of heaven. So you could order a slice of pizza instead of having to get the entire pie. And so that was sort of their catchphrase, a slice of heaven. So Mystic Pizza in Mystic, Connecticut.
It's interesting because that's where a film crew will contact a restaurant and say, "Hey, do you mind if we film a scene here?"
Right.
And then maybe they take away and build the set, and then that restaurant becomes super popular because of that. That's a really great side effect. I once knew someone who owned a cafe, and they let the introduction to a porn be shot there. So like the two people meet at this coffee shop, and and then they go off and do the rest of the movie somewhere
And did
else.
it explode?
And but there were people cute. There were people who actually came to the shop and said, "Oh, I saw this in a porn," and I was like, "Oh my god!"
Was that the name of the porn? They came to the shop.
All right.
All right, number 5 is McLaren. We'll move along. Number 5 is McLaren's from How I Met Your Mother. And
I've never seen that show.
You haven't?
That's why you haven't met my mother.
Well, because so that's like a therapy show, I think, because How I Met Your Mother just seems a little like I don't want to talk about how people might have met my mother because Mitch is always teasing about my mom. So I'm just saying that's not a show I want to see.
It's a good show.
It's a funny show.
Comedy. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's you should give it a try. It's really not what you think it is. So,
all right.
But McLaren's is actually based on a pub named McGee's, which is located on 55th Street in Manhattan. So if that's anybody who wants
Irish food, I'm guessing.
I would assume so, but I get probably some American pub food as well.
Yeah.
And then number 4 is the Double R Diner from Twin Peaks. It's a show I did not watch, so
yeah.
I'll apologize now to all the Twin Peaks fanatics out there.
Now, Twin Peaks was a movie and a series.
And it's a restaurant chain.
It is. I think the Twin Peaks are different, though, right?
I think they might be.
I've
never been inside of
where
one.
I was like, okay.
Yeah, Twin Peaks, the chain is
kind of like the Hooters.
It's exactly like Hooters. In fact, the women in there wear kilts is one of their trademarks.
Huh. Never been.
Debbie is so shocked.
That is just, she wants to reach through and
We
smack all of
digress.
us.
This is not a shocked face. This face does not convey shock. So the diner that was in the show, Double R Diner, was based on a diner called Tweed's Cafe. And but the
Tweeds?
interior, Tweeds, TWEDE apostrophe S.
Okay.
So they say that anybody that's looking at looking for the famous Twin Peaks cherry pie or a damn fine cup of coffee can find it at Tweed.
No.
I'm ready. I'm ready for both.
Yeah.
With your donut addiction, that does not surprise me. I'm going to say that up front.
It could only be better if they had a donut bar.
Oh, well, they probably have donuts. It's a diner.
Wait a minute. What a great idea for a restaurant. A donut bar.
So
Yeah,
like froyo, but you could set it up so that they can do different toppings of their own style. You could
Yeah.
like the sprinkles, could add
The
some
donuts get made to order, so it's a fresh donut, cake or not, and then they get to add the donut toppings.
Great idea.
What about filling?
I'll show you later.
The fillings, I think, would have to be special order because they take a little longer to prep. So that
Right.
stop.
You just
All right,
eject them.
I'm done. I'm
Eject
done.
them.
Number 3, Cat's Deli from When Harry Met Sally. So you guys remember that famous scene? I'll have what she's having.
Mhm.
Right.
Right.
So the deli is actually located in Manhattan's Lower East Side. It serves more than 4,000 customers daily.
Do you think people go in there and emulate the movie just for fun?
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
Probably.
sure that's never happened. I'm sure they have
Right,
never
right,
seen
right.
that happen, ever.
Yeah, oddly awkward.
And all the regulars that just love the place because they love the food and the atmosphere, they probably go in and people are doing this and they're like, ugh, I just want my freaking food.
Right.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: is
Probably.
when Harry Met Sally is so old, there are no regulars left that are alive. All right, now the only people coming in are tourists.
You need to apologize to anybody.
Harry and Sally.
Yes.
Harry and Sally and all the old people.
The
Anybody
seniors.
over
Apologize to
50.
seniors, man.
All the white hairs.
All right.
Yep, got it.
Number 2 is Cheers from the show Cheers. It's actually based on a pub called Bull and Finch Pub. And it's now known as Cheers, and it's found in the Beacon Hill neighborhood. And there's also a second location in the I don't know how to pronounce that. Faneuil Hall Marketplace. I'm sure I'm butchering that, and I'll apologize up front. So the inside of the bar looks very similar to what you see on the show. And they also have they serve their draft beers in a classic souvenir mug. I've actually visited a Cheers when I was in
Mhm.
London many, many years ago. And I just was super excited about it. And I have no idea why, because I haven't gone to the one in Boston. But when I was in London, I was like, we gotta go to Cheers. I have no idea why.
We
Yeah,
have
when I
one
was-
we have one in St. Louis too.
When I was
We'll
when
go
I was in-
sometime.
Wait. Dennis, stop. There's a Cheers in St. Louis?
Yes.
Where is it?
It's like we'll talk.
Okay.
But it doesn't look very popular.
yeah, and I don't
But
know
that's
that
how
it's-
they'll get to know your name.
I don't know that one is patterned after the show. I'm not sure, but the
The sign
Boston-
looks just the same.
Oh, okay. Well, then there it is. But the Boston one, I've actually visited that when I was in high school. I went to Boston to look at colleges, and I watched that show. So that show was very popular in the '80s. Sorry, I know I'm a little older.
Ooh, pick me.
Watch your mouth.
All right, and so I visited the bar, and then you walk downstairs to get into it, and the whole 9 yards, just like on the show. And that was the thing. I was pretty excited about that deal to actually visit the actual thing. Now, I did read a couple years ago that the Boston original Cheers has closed. I did read that. So the original
Aw.
location that's patterned after, I know it did close. You know.
Nobody knew their name.
Aw.
Right.
Everybody
Aw.
forgot their name.
And nobody was glad they came.
For those of you that don't know, those are all lines from the theme song from the show that they're all
Yeah.
saying. Just
Yeah, go.
Pull
listen
it
to
up
this.
on YouTube.
right.
Exactly. All right. Are you guys ready for number one?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Number one is Monk's Restaurant from Seinfeld.
I was about to say, please don't let it be Seinfeld.
Oh, of course it is. Of course it's Seinfeld. So it's that diner that they would go to that was on the corner, Monk's Restaurant. And it's actually modeled after a restaurant. Trust me, I didn't particularly Seinfeld wasn't my favorite either, but it was in the
Right.
prime time, must-see TV Thursday night, so we watched it. So it's located, Tom's Restaurant is actually located in the Upper West Side of Manhattan. But most of the filming of the restaurant was completed on a set that they built in California that was obviously based off of Tom's Restaurant in Manhattan.
Yeah, and I think that's an example of a restaurant that's super popular that tourists go there. I mean, that's a big New York tourist attraction. I've read about that in the past. So that doesn't surprise me at all.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've already wrote down top-notch burger.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Who
so
doesn't
there
like
you
a-
go. That's your top
Who
10.
doesn't like a good hamburger? I'm just saying. I don't know who's
I
got
know.
the best. Now, you almost, in order for our listeners to really participate, maybe we'll ask this question. You can email or you put it on our social media.
Your
Who's
favorite
got-
burger place.
Who's got? But here's the rules though. You got to give us the best burger place that's not. I hate to say it. That's not a local establishment because in order for everyone to participate and us to get a fair measurement across the entire world, more people have to have access to this poll. So
Are you serious? So we're gonna
So we're gonna get
we're
McDonald's,
gonna compare
Wendy's.
the double quarter pounder with cheese to the Hardee's version of a double quarter pounder with cheese.
Well, it's not.
I'm
that, it's
so
not,
excited.
No, it's not that I
Negative.
want to do that. It's not that I want to do that, but I want people around the world to be able to have access to who's got the best worldwide burger. That's
So-
really the question. Yeah.
So
Who's got
here's
the best
here's
piece
the
of meat?
thing. You're never going to have anything that's absolutely worldwide. There's
Truth.
just not going to be anything that's absolutely worldwide. I think it would be very interesting to hear from our listeners which local burger place in their particular location is the best in their opinion. And that way, if people are traveling from other countries,
Then they
to
can
the United
go.
States,
All
who
right.
are traveling to the same states, within the United States, they can figure. They I heard this on the Dennis George show. Dennis George show said one of the listeners.
Okay.
such
And we'll post the list on our email on our website, by the way, which is DennisGeorgeShow.com. And I should mention that anytime you hear like a recipe or anything like that from the show or list or those sorts of things, we put those on our website. There's a tab called Our Show. And if you click on that, like I think Debbie did a margarita or something. What was it?
It's Roy hang on. Oh, now you've Tequila Sunrise Royale.
Tequila Sunrise Royale,
Oh.
like that she talked about that, I think, a couple podcasts ago, and we posted that recipe on the website. So that's there for you to go see if you need to find it. So yeah, so if you have a favorite burger place, fine, we'll open it up. Any kind of burger place that you want, that's fine. You all are right. I was just saying that for the purposes
No,
of
I get what
voting,
you're saying too.
yeah, if we could just try to get, but it doesn't matter. It's fine.
As
Send
long
us
as
your
they have
favorite.
burgers on the menu, right? Like egg slut.
What?
What
Egg
happened?
slut. Egg slut. It's a
Egg
place in
slut?
Vegas. Egg slut. Yeah. It's a breakfast place
they
that
do
also has
burgers?
burgers. You can get a burger with an egg on it.
Podcast at DennisGeorgeShow.com.
How do you like your eggs in the morning?
I think we're gonna go ahead and apologize to the sluts because we all thought we were gonna be
all
talking about
know-
sluts.
No. This is a
But it
regular.
was burgers, right? Right. But you said it, and I was like, I think we're talking bad
What?
about sluts.
We're slut shaming.
Did you all know that the largest fast food chain in the world, can you guess who it is, who has the most locations worldwide?
McDonald's.
Okay, McDonald's is your guess. Anyone, any other guesses?
Tim Hardy's or whatever that is.
Hardee's, okay.
Or Arby's.
No, Tim, whatever that Canadian.
Tim
Tim
Hortons.
Hortons?
Tim Hortons, yeah.
You think
Tim
they're number one
Hortons.
worldwide?
No, I don't care.
Or Culver's.
Starbucks, actually.
No, you don't care. The question to the group was, who do you think is the number one fast food chain in the world? And his answer is Tim Hortons, but no, he doesn't care.
Oh, yeah.
So the number one fast food chain that surprised me actually is Subway. Subway sandwich
okay.
stores
Okay.
has 1,000 more units than McDonald's. McDonald's is number 2. Subway is number 1. And I researched why that was. I was
Who's
like,
number
why?
3?
I was like, why is it Kentucky Fried Chicken?
Shut up.
Yep.
Okay,
So
that
but
one
no-
actually surprises me the most because
Well-
they kind of had a hard time for a long time.
They
Well, it's
can't call it
interesting.
Kentucky Fried Chicken anymore because they're not using chicken. They have to call it KFC because they've engineered their chicken in such a way that, the lawmaker said they can't call it Kentucky Fried Chicken.
You're so full of it.
We're gonna get back to that in a minute. So Kentucky Fried Chicken KFC has more locations worldwide, and actually they have less locations in the US. So KFC is more popular outside of the United States.
I can see
And
that.
you'll find that in other countries more prevalent than, say, even McDonald's or Subway. Inside the U.S., KFC is not quite as big. But it's interesting. I researched why is Subway, why do they have more units than anyone else? It's because the franchise fee is so low. You can get into a Subway for $2,500 US. I mean, it's very inexpensive to open a Subway franchise.
So,
Well,
but-
yeah.
But isn't Europe on some doing some stuff now to try to either kick them out or make them change their menu in some way because the bread is so full of sugar that they're saying that they can't call it bread or something like that?
I don't know.
I saw an article about that apparently I think it's the EU, but I have to go back and find it. Is all
Yeah, they
over
prob-
it, their bread is so high in sugar.
You know,
Yeah.
Subway might not need to have much of an investment either relative to like kitchens and stoves and
That's
things
right.
like that
Right.
because most of the stuff is
It's a
sandwich
deli
board.
counter.
Yeah.
a deli thing, right?
Yeah, it's a sandwich board, and you need a thing that bakes bread, and that's really pretty much it. Yeah, it's
Right.
absolutely true. Yeah, equipment wise is pretty less expensive. Coming up after the break, we're gonna do side effects. These are drugs that have really strange side effects that, in fact, maybe you wouldn't want to take the drug because the side effects is more crazy than the drug. I'm just saying.
It's a whole
Everything.
new way to watch radio. The Dennis George Show continues after this.
Check out our YouTube channel. It's a whole new way to watch radio, where you can find each episode of our show. Just search Dennis George Show. Like us and subscribe. See you there.
Hey, this is Mitch from The Dennis George Show. If you have a question, comment, new sexual position, things I should do with Dennis's mom, or looking for a date, or even looking for a date with Dennis's mom, send us an email at podcast@dennisgeorgeshow.com. If we read your question or comment on the air, we'll send you a t-shirt. That's podcast@dennisgeorgeshow.com. And now, back to the show.
Yeah, so we're gonna get back to that whole deal in just a minute about our listener email. I know that's a favorite segment of all of you.
Mhm.
So that's coming up after the drug side effects with Mitch. Mitch, what do you got for us this week?
So the
Use your words. Use your words.
Words are difficult.
Yeah, you can make a sentence try harder.
String them together. It's that Botox he got.
Okay, can we apologize to me again? All right, add me twice to the list.
His face is so paralyzed from his 67 units that he got.
Well, I gave your mom 69.
We'll go ahead and apologize to Dennis's mom.
All right. She's going to get a few more apologies later.
I need a minute.
He cracked himself.
Yeah.
But he officially can't hold himself together.
But his face hasn't cracked at all.
It still looks the same.
Right, you can't tell he's laughing.
Yeah.
Okay,
That
Margaret
just
Thatcher
slipped
naked on a
out.
cold day. Margaret Thatcher naked.
What, Denny G?
That just slipped out.
Oh, Lord, help us. All right, we'll try to do this intro again. Drug effects with Mitch. What's this week's entry for us?
The dream effects of side effects. So a lot of drugs will affect your dreams, not always in a good way. So Alzheimer's medications and also some anti-smoking medications can actually cause vivid dreams and nightmares. The medication that can cause bad dreams typically affects levels of neurotransmitters in the brain. But here's my question with the individuals with Alzheimer's, and we can just go ahead and add them to the apology.
They don't have a
list right now.
brain.
Uh-oh.
All right. Well, Sam kind of beat me to it. All right.
They lost their cookies.
Add Alzheimer's patients to the apology list, but they can't remember it. So does it matter? I mean, is this like the
So
gold
what does
effect?
so what do
It's a
Alzheimer's patients?
catch-22.
So what medication are we talking about?
So Chantix is one of them.
That's for to be a non-smoker.
And that will cause vivid dreams, and some people don't like them.
Yeah.
Another one is Aricept, and that's for Alzheimer's.
Okay.
So that's for people who are losing their mind.
So your question
Dennis,
is,
yeah, Denny, you're taking that one, right?
So your question is,
Or Dennis.
I'm sorry.
Nothing. I'm good.
So your question is that if they take this drug and the side effect is Alzheimer's patients, and they take this drug and the side effect is they have really vivid dreams, nightmares, that what's it matter anyway because they have Alzheimer's, they can't remember the dream?
Yeah. But I mean, also if you have Alzheimer's, like that, the last 30 seconds is your world. And so you're gonna, for 30 seconds, that's gonna be all you know is that horrible, horrible, horrible dream.
So if a person has Alzheimer's and they take this medication, and if they didn't remember what they dreamt, then how would people know that they had vivid dreams when they took the medication?
Because for those 30 seconds that they did remember it, that was the only thing they remembered.
So they do remember the vivid dreams. Otherwise, they couldn't report on it, and therefore you would never know.
Here's the deal. If I read on the label of a drug that one of the side effects is vivid dreams, nightmares, I wouldn't take the drug. Like, I don't want nightmares, so I won't take the drug. That's an example of a side effect that's more extreme for me than what I'm trying to fix, I think.
But if you have Alzheimer's, you won't remember reading about the side effects.
It's fine because I won't remember to take the drug.
Most drugs are very catch-22.
Yeah, they really are. It's crazy. Yeah. Oh, no.
Oh, no. So we have like 5 minutes before we get to the email folder. So what's next?
So we can go ahead and finish up this segment.
Right?
We should have started this at the beginning of the show.
I started logging on now to get our email. So that way, by the time we get to talking about introducing it,
it'll be Monday.
I can have the email pulled up. Well, you know, just say if you contribute to the podcast,
you've got mail.
We might be able to afford high speed. I'm just saying.
Oh, look, we're towards the end of the show. We finally got cooked up.
So you all know that we ask our listeners to write us and send us email. And thank you all for those of you that do podcast at Dennis George Show. Please
we love you.
That's right. Please keep those emails coming. We appreciate it. Interesting and disturbing email I got this week. Listener Jerry T from Raleigh, North Carolina writes, quote, "Hey, I heard that I could email and get a date with Dennis's mom. Can I have a pic and some stats? So I had a conversation with my mom about this email. So first off, I want to point from a therapy standpoint, my mom is not looking to date. I want to make that very, very clear. I know Mitch runs a promotion in the podcast every single week that says if you want to date with my mom to write us. But I'm sorry to say, well, I shouldn't speak for my mom. I don't think she wants to date. I'm just saying. But if she did tell me that she does require a picture and some stats to be sent with the email request. Now, before you all go, this is a very dangerous thing. This is a very dangerous thing.
I'm not this.
I want you to limit the pictures that you send.
No,
me.
don't.
No.
Just send them.
Those kinds of pictures I do not want to be forwarding to my mom.
Well, that's how people get on Google too.
I'd be like, look,
you
mom,
can make somebody famous.
Look, mom, look at this guy. I mean, you need to date him.
Oh,
very disturbing. Very, very disturbing.
He could make fun of you.
Could make fun of you. Don't know what that means, and I don't want to explore it. So anyway, yeah, so we got lots of good listener email that comes in. Feel free to write us, of course, podcast at Dennis George Show. Hey, and Sam mentioned we have a YouTube channel which continues to grow.
We do.
So if you want to watch us, Denny G is on a train, I think. That's his background.
Yes.
And Mitch is, I think, in a throne from Game of Thrones. He's on the throne. And Sam this week is in San Francisco, I think. And Debbie is in I don't know, a pantry, a storage closet, or the back
She's
room.
in an escape room.
She's in an escape room.
She's in her panic room.
I'm trying to get away from you people.
Well, I see a lot of kitchen gear, so it might be a kitchen escape room.
We clearly put baby in a corner.
Right. We put baby in a corner.
Apocalypse prep room.
Oh, it does look like an apocalypse prep. She's in a bunker somewhere.
In an undisclosed location.
Are you a prepper?
I like it.
You're not a prepper, Debbie?
No, I don't prep for that. I already have my plan of what I'm gonna do if something catastrophic happens. I already know what I'm doing.
Do you want to share that with us?
I don't know that I want to share.
Right.
I will
because then everybody would know where you're going.
Well, yeah, it's exactly. Well, it's a very safe location, and I will be with family, and that's all I got to do. I just got to make it back.
Well, leading to what Mitch suggested, does that mean you're going to be at Margaritaville?
Ooh, that is a fantastic location for me. Let's be honest.
There will be alcohol involved.
Oh, that is the
yes.
Margaritaville. This right here, this is my Margaritaville. Right here in its case. Yes.
I want to be clear. If there's any sort of bunker involved in where I'm going, there will be alcohol. Let's be clear. It'll be
Absolutely.
Mostly alcohol.
Right. Fully stocked deal.
So the best part of this room right now is you can't see how much alcohol is in this room, but I literally am practically surrounded by alcohol bottles in this back room because when I have people over that keep bringing me alcohol and I keep telling them, please stop bringing me alcohol.
Sounds like you need to have a party.
I was about to say, or she needs to have an intervention.
Yeah.
It's all still here, so I don't need an intervention.
Never be a quitter.
We're going to set up a bar at the donut intervention.
There we go. Donuts.
Mimosas.
Oh, donuts and drinks. I like this. Donuts and drinks. I think it's a good, it's a
And
niche.
pies.
Fine, I'm leaving this meeting. I'm going over.
All right, what's our apology list? Let's do our apology.
Yeah, let's do the apology list. Sam, what do you got?
We have to apologize to Mitch because we've been very mean to him.
And he's a whiner.
If I could, I would
Females.
cry.
Females, we got to apologize to the females because we were very sexist early on in the show. Harry and Sally, we got to apologize to them. And all the seniors that watch the show because we bash them a lot. Mitch again, because he was bashed a lot this time.
I don't think he earned any apologies.
Are you sure? We'll add you on too. That. Oh wait, we got Dennis's mom. We're gonna apologize to Dennis's mom. So you're on it.
All right.
Alzheimer's people. people with Alzheimer's.
They
And
don't
I
even
think we
remember
also
why
need to
they're mad.
apologize to the family members of the Alzheimer's person.
Yes, for sure.
Fair.
Yeah, that's true.
Because it's hardest on them.
That's true.
Yeah.
Or yeah. That's what, and I'm gonna add Debbie because we bashed her a little bit about her alcohol.
Pretty much, she should be apologized for every show. In fact, we should probably record a promo that we play automatically that apologizes to her. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing that out there.
The men record.
Right.
Debbie, we're sorry.
An apology.
Please forgive us.
Well, that's what we got for you. Thank you all for listening. Thanks for tuning in. Remember, you can find us where all podcasts are played, and we're doing real good. We lots of listeners, so thank you for that. And
Check us out on YouTube.
That's right, YouTube channel, and we have a Facebook and we have a Twitter. So
we tweet,
like, and subscribe, and click, and do all the things you're supposed to do. And we'll see you all next time.
Stay safe, be kind, everybody.
Yep.
Bye.
Love y'all.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks for watching.